I'm Gunther.
Und I'm Tinka.
And together
we are the Heffen Heffers. And welcome back to another episode of Crips and Coursed. I'm your host, DJ, and a hive of bees once made me their queen, along with my co-host.
And your QVC mail-in order twink, Paul, as usual. And I'm curious about the bees!
The hive made me their queen, and then I voluntarily abdicated the throne and established the first bee republic. Unfortunately, it fell to communism after I left. Anyways.
And we know how you feel about communism.
Anyways, for those of you who are just listening to this via audio and not watching on YouTube, I'm dressed up like Maverick from Top Gun.
And I'm a sailor.
Why did you say it like that? Paul, what are your blessings and curses for this week?
So my blessing for the week is Taylor Swift released a new album. Not my favorite album, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. 2 good songs. Sabrina Carpenter slayed. Honestly, iconic. I'm excited to see it in the theater. I don't appreciate her coming for Charlie XCX for no reason, but...
I didn't see about that.
Yeah, so the song, I forget the name of Taylor's song, but she's basically saying, like, oh, you think about me all the time and I'm stuck in your head and that makes you such a fucking loser. And then she's responding to Charlie's song, Sympathy is a Knife, that's basically saying, like, you make me so insecure and it makes me not like you sometimes. And then Taylor's song is like, you called me a boring Barbie once and you do a lot of coke and you're a fucking loser. And it's like, oh no.
Who started it? Charlie or Taylor?
Charlie started it. Like, Sympathy is a Knife came up first, but it's not even like a diss track. It's like, you make me super insecure. And yeah, she called her boring Barbie one time, but the crux is like, you make me super insecure and it makes me not like you a bit. And then Taylor's like, you're such a boring bitch. Like, you do coke, you're such a loser. Everything you think about me is right, and I live rent-free in your head. So it's very much like the whole, like, thing the internet is saying is, like, Taylor's the mean girl of it, which is, like...
Not true.
No, that's what it's giving, that Taylor is the mean girl of
it.
And people are saying...
I don't know. Maybe I have to do more research, but it seems like if Charlie said something first in a song...
But what she said is, like, you make me insecure and it makes me not like you a bit. And sometimes I like you and sometimes I hate you and I want to be you.
Okay.
And in the song it says, I couldn't be you even if I tried. And then Taylor's like, you're fucking right, you couldn't be me because you're a loser. And it's giving mean girl energy. And apparently father figures about Olivia Rodrigo, and that's not good either.
So, are you telling me that Taylor Swift released an entire album of diss tracks?
No, just 2 songs.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of discourse about this album online. More to come.
Is this going to be Pop Culture Corner too? Because...
No.
Oh.
I have a quick Pop Culture Corner,
because
don't worry.
I have a theory.
It could be
Allegedly. This is just my theory. But I think Taylor is getting ready to retire and just be a wife and a mommy for a while. And I think that Midnight's, Tortured Poets, and now The Life of a Showgirl are just her clearing out her archive and releasing everything that she's ever wanted to release but didn't have a place to put it. And I think what happens is, I would not be surprised. Like I said, this is alleged, this is a theory. I would not be surprised if after the next awards season, she announced that she was, like, taking an extended break to focus on her personal life. Especially with how Life of a Showgirl ended with the song Life of a Showgirl, where it's like, yeah, I reached the top, but it's not everything that it's cracked out to be.
Yeah. I do think she wrote the song specifically for the album. I don't think it's like throwaways or whatever that she just didn't know where to put it. I do think she
Tortured
did.
Poets was.
Yeah, Torture Poets wasn't great. This album, I didn't have high hopes for it. I did think it would be a flop. Turned out better than I expected.
Yeah, it was better than I expected.
We'll see if my opinion changes. But again, my opinion on it doesn't fucking matter. She's a billionaire and she can do what she wants. Yeah. For my curse for the week is sad TikTok scrolling, because every so often my For You page like senses weakness in me, and they'll show me all the saddest dog videos and all the saddest videos that you can find. It's like it senses that weakness in me. But also my TikTok feed, well, back to the sadness. And then honestly, it does get me all those sad pet videos, especially about like dogs dying and stuff. TikTok knows when you're weak. But also, I have been appreciating the Oran High Hosts Club trending again on TikTok. I watched that way back in the day when it first came out. One of the classic animes, definitely very gay, very queer. And I did post a TikTok to one of the audios on our TikTok. And I had to. My inner anime kid wouldn't let me not. So I guess that's the curse for all of you, that you guys have to bear with the Oran High Host Club and the twincest of it all.
Twincest?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to watch this later. Anyways.
Oh.
Just because I've never seen it, and now I'm intrigued. Anyways, thank you for asking what my blessings and curses are, Paul.
Who are you again?
My blessing is that you don't know it yet, but my costume is very on-brand for the topic of this well, actually, they know it. You don't know it yet. My costume is very on-brand for this topic.
I know what it is. I know your topic. You told me.
Oh, I did tell you.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of my curse now, is that I told you and I forgot I told you. But the blessing is that I was deadass in the Spirit Halloween last night, and I saw this and I was like, okay, that works. And then this morning, while I was doing my last read-through of my notes, I went, holy shit, I'm a genius. However, I have two curses. The first curse is that I did buy a costume that was the wrong size.
Yeah. Well, at least it's too big and not too small.
Yeah, because at least I can get through this episode wearing it and then exchange it for the right size so I could actually wear it for a Halloween party.
Yeah, that would be a good Chicago costume.
Yes, and so later when we go, because we're recording this ahead of time, when we go to Spirit Halloween later for show stuff, I will be exchanging it.
We're living the life of a showgirl, honestly.
Honestly. The second part of my curse is I went to get our paranormal pairing. Mm-hmm. And I went to the brewery, and I walked up there, and I was like, can you please give me 2 crowlers of this beer? And she goes, yes. And she brings them over. And I got 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, they are big. And I honestly, if you told me brewery and what you were going to tell me, like, girl, clocked. But also, this is a really good brewery. The beer is very good. Yeah. Shout out, you guys are legends. Like,
we'll shout you out when we get to the paranormal pairing. But now I don't know if we just open one and get glasses or if we both crack one open.
Whatever.
We'll both crack one open because on this podcast, we're alcoholics, but we don't have a problem.
Not yet. I'm about to make it a problem, though.
All right.
Okay. Pop culture corner?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a serious one, like for real.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Jane Goodall.
Yes.
You were a legend, an icon, and she, like, really did help make the way for women in science and helping, like, women be taken more seriously in the science field at a time where women weren't taken so seriously. And she was a very kind-hearted person. I listened to a couple interviews of hers. The main one was when she was on Call Her Daddy. And honestly, just such a smart lady, such a kind spirit, and rest in peace, Jane Goodall.
Absolutely. I loved Jane Goodall because when I was a kid, I went through like a zoology phase where I wanted to like grow up and become a zoologist to move to Africa and study African animals. And like a big part of that was primatology, which was her focus.
Right.
And so I read a lot of her like articles and her research as a kid, and like the breakthroughs that she found in primatology, like with primate behavior, is just like astounding. And like just read some of the stuff because, like, even the way she approaches her research was just so empathetic.
Right.
And you can just get a real sense of who she is through her research. Yeah.
That. And I bet, well, no, I know she had to have been the inspiration for so many, just not kids, but little girls in general to get into the STEM field, because so often little girls are discouraged from going into the STEM field. So I bet, I keep saying I bet, but I know a lot of children looked up to her, loved her story, and we lost a real one, so rest in peace, Jane. You'll be missed. And why don't we pour one out for Jane?
Yeah, in honor of Dr. Jane Goodall.
Yes. What are we drinking?
We are drinking from Chimera Brewing Company, I think. Chimera Brewing Company here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're drinking Yinzer Pride. It is an amber lager.
I think it's pronounced Chimmery, but I'm not sure. Well, I'll put the name on the thing, and
I
we'll
thought
tag
it was Chimera, like the
Chimera.
Chimera.
Chimera. Okay,
Like,
this is why brands don't sponsor us.
Like Chimera, like the Greek monster.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Let's crack her open. Okay.
Shit. Well,
Get mine open.
ooh,
mine
you got
was
the frothy one.
Mine was a little frothy.
I'm sorry.
Cheers. The Yinzer Bride. It's a good beer.
Yeah, it is a good beer.
It's an amazing beer. And this is after our show, so we can say this. We were going to use this for our show, but then there's no label.
Yeah,
so...
and we're doing a giveaway, and, like, you can't give away something without a label.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the sunglasses are coming off because...
Go ahead.
Because I have to read my notes.
Yeah, and I was going to say, so if you're in Pittsburgh, go support this local brewery. Their beers are super good. They have, like, a really cute outdoor area. There's, like, fire pits and picnic tables. Mm-hmm. And there's this really nice, like, I'm pretty sure, not to assume, but she's giving a little lesbian, a little bop with the funnest accent there. She has, like, a Boston accent. She was so iconic, honestly. Shout out to whoever this person is, and sorry if you're not a lesbian.
The lady who waited on us last week when we were testing it out waited on me again.
Oh, I got a different lady.
I got the same lady, and I was like, can I get 2 crawlers of the Yinzer Pride? And she went, were you here last week? And I went, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not frequenting breweries that much.
It was we were talking to her a lot about the beers.
Yes, exactly. And we were just going to a lot of breweries the past couple weeks to get ready for our show and pick a beer and whatever. Honestly, pick the paranormal pairing for our live show that has already passed.
Yeah.
But
you know, we're going to give you a taste of it.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
Mm.
So Paul Corkies, let me tell you a story.
Let's get into it.
Pittsburgh, the Steel City, the heart of industry in America. This town, also known as Hell with the Roof Blown Off, for the industrial pollution being dumped into the atmosphere. When suddenly through the clouds, if I could speak, a plane begins to descend. Faster and faster, its engine's not running. Oh no! It's going to strike a bridge. But at the last moment, it diverts, but it lands in the Monongahela River. This week, we are talking about Pittsburgh's very own unexplained mystery. Pittsburgh's Bermuda Triangle, if you will. We will be discussing Pittsburgh's Ghost Bomber.
Oh, okay. Yeah, honestly, I think anything that lands in the Monongahela River, it's just game over. Because that river, gross.
Yeah, we'll get into that in the end. But yeah, this was one of the stories that we told last week on our live show. But because I'm good at time management, rather than doing separate notes, I just took the notes I had for the live show and fleshed it out into a full episode. Because we've never covered it, and it's a really good episode.
You're ruining the magic, DJ.
I'm not ruining the magic. I'm being honest with our best friends we have never met.
We can't tell them the secrets that were actually terrible.
Oh, Trust me, they don't need to be told. It's no secret.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. On January 30th, 1956, a crew of 6 from Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada took off to pick up a cargo of airplane parts at Olmsted Air Force Base in Harrisburg, PA. The group was flying a B-52 Mitchell bomber. This medium-sized bomber was first introduced just before World War II. It was named after Colonel Billy Mitchell, a World War I Army officer who promoted the use of air power in battle and is regarded as the father of the Air Force.
Now, how do you feel about the B-52s?
I think they're fine.
The band? You got the reference?
I was like scrolling and so used to the B-52s and I thought you said the B-25s and I thought you were asking me about the plane.
No, the B-52s, the band, the girls, the dolls.
Off the top of my head, I honestly can't say I've ever heard one of their songs. You're probably going to prove me wrong by naming one of their songs.
You've heard it. I don't know the names of the songs. I know it, like I can hear it in my ears, but I don't know the names. And I know
Did I say B-52?
Yeah.
I meant B-25.
B-25.
B-25. This was not a B-52. This was a B-25.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. I was terrified I was going to make the mistake. Anyways, these planes were most famous for participating in the April 1952 Doolittle raid on Tokyo carried out in retaliation for the Japanese attacks on Pearl Harbor. This was also the first aircraft to sink an enemy submarine from the air.
Interesting. Okay, impressive.
Now, more infamously, a B-25 was involved in a highly publicized accident when one crashed into the north side of the Empire State Building in New York during fog, killing all 3 of its crew and 11 people inside the building.
This isn't in Pittsburgh, though, right?
No, that was in New York.
Okay. So this is just the history of the plane.
Yeah, this is just a little backstory.
Okay.
Now, this is coming towards the lifespan of the entire type of plane, but up until this point, they were prized for their versatility because, in addition to being a bomber, they could be converted into a gunplane, as well as having the capacity to transport passengers or cargo.
Okay.
So she's a verse queen.
We love a verse queen. We love versatility. We love a verse queen with a lot of ammo to give to the other.
As long as they're not shooting blanks.
As long as they're not shooting
Paul's
blanks.
always shooting blanks.
But I got a heavy load.
Oof. I read that about you on the bathroom stall. Now, it should be noted that this particular plane was not an active bomber, but a training plane.
Okay.
So it had no active bombs on it that we know of.
That we know of. Spooky.
The crew was captained by Major William Dotson. Dotson had been in the military for 14 years and had served in both World War II and Korea. During World War II, he was actually shot down and had to ditch his plane over the Mediterranean before being picked up by a Royal Canadian Air Force something or another.
Oh, so he got picked up by... Oh, a boat. Okay.
A boat. And I don't know why it was the Air Force.
You know,
Why
versatility. Like you said, versatility. They're in the air and they're in the water. They're on the land, they're everywhere. It's like that land, air, and sea burger from the McDonald's. You ever had one? You get the McChicken, you get a McDouble, and you get the filet of fish, and you put them all on one. The land, air, and sea burger.
Who is getting a filet of fish from McDonald's other than our one friend that one time when he was drunk? And I'm still disgusted about it 2 years later.
Yeah, filet of fishes are gross. Now, I did have a filet of fish phase briefly in elementary school, but I feel like everyone has a filet of fish phase.
No.
Yeah, well, you're weak. You couldn't handle the truth.
I could not. My delicate insides, my undercarriage, could not handle the filet of fish.
Your trundle, if you will.
My trundle could not. I would drop my axle. My transmission would be gone.
Right, and we already know it's already half gone.
Exactly, but that's just rot.
Yeah, rot, and it's really surprisingly oily.
That's just maintenance, baby. Anyways, Dotson was described as being a matter-of-fact and no-nonsense type of man.
Ooh, versatility. Imagine that, a no-nonsense. I feel like half the people in these fucking stories are no-nonsense men. It's like, girl...
Yeah, pretty much everyone's no-nonsense and matter-of-fact in these stories, except for Ed and Lorraine Warren.
It's tired. Where's the whimsy?
The crew also included Captain John Jameson, co-pilot, Captain Steve W. Tabak, also pilot, Staff Sergeant Walter Susi, who was crew chief, and 2 passengers, Master Sergeant Alfred J. Alleman and Captain J.P. Ingram. From Nellis, they flew to Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma and stayed there overnight to refuel, and stopped again the next day at Selfridge National Guard Base in Michigan for another refueling. However, the refueling was delayed at Selfridge, so the crew checked their fuel supply and determined that they had enough to safely make it to their destination. At around 4 p.m. on January the 31st, the crew reported a sudden and obvious lack of fuel and requested permission to land at Greater Pittsburgh Airport, now known as Pittsburgh International.
Okay.
When Major Dotson realized their fuel wouldn't last, he instead asked to land at Allegheny County Airport, which I think it's still called Allegheny County Airport, but I think sometimes it's called Arnold Palmer.
Where is that?
It's actually not too far away from here.
Interesting.
Not to triangulate our studio location, but...
Right.
It's not very near.
It's like close to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's very close.
So why do we have 2 airports? That's crazy.
Well, the county airport's like strictly like...
Business.
No, not even that. It's like small flights. Pittsburgh International has like bigger planes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
At 4:11 p.m., with his fuel supply completely empty, his engines malfunctioning, and without any available airstrips nearby, Dotson was forced to make a decision. He was now gliding and descending rapidly over the densely populated Homestead neighborhood of Pittsburgh, meaning a crash would not only kill him and the others on the plane, but many more on the ground. As they descended through the clouds and rain, he could make out the silvery strip of the Monongahela River below and made his choice. Now, the Monongahela River, this is for all the people who don't know. Okay? But the Monongahela River, often affectionately called the Mon, is a 130-mile-long river originating at the fork of the West Fork River and the Tigard Valley River in West Virginia. The word Monongahela is Unami in Algonquin language and means falling banks, referring to the notorious instability of its banks.
My banks are falling too, if you know what I'm saying.
I read that on the bathroom stall too. The river flows northeast, being one of the few in the world to flow north rather than south, and concludes in Pittsburgh at the Golden Triangle, where it meets the Allegheny River to form the Ohio River, which marks the true gateway to the west. Suck my yinzer ass, St. Louis. I love how you just did thumbs up. And that concludes our geology lesson.
Thank you. Next, we will be doing geometry, where we'll be learning all about the landscape of Puerto Rico.
Wait, I just talked about landscape. Did I mean genealogy?
Yeah, okay, I do think you meant genealogy. I think, yeah.
Or is it geometry?
You know, girl, I didn't go to school for all of that. I went for the video production. They didn't teach me all about that geometry or whatever.
What's geometry?
Sounds like the study of pajamas.
Zoology?
Yes.
Gigantry.
Well, I can show you some gigantry. Trust and believe. I'm packing some gigantry.
I did not read that on the bathroom stall. I did read the opposite, however. Okay, back to the story. Major Dotson glided over the Homestead High-Level Bridge, now known as the Homestead Grays Bridge, which was packed with rush hour traffic. The bomber passed within 30 feet of the top of the bridge, and the drivers on it feared it was going to strike the bridge until it passed silently overhead, because at this point the engines ain't running. Many abandoned their cars and raced...
He said, Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands. I can't do this all on my own. And let it go, and give me one more chance.
You didn't know this was a musical, did you?
You're welcome.
And actually, Major Dawson did not say that. I'm gonna debunk that in a minute.
He wasn't a Christian.
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. So they abandoned their cars and raced to the side of the bridge to watch Dotson make a wheels-up splash landing into the Monongahela, near the Glenwood Bridge, near where the Waterfront Shopping Center and Sandcastle Water Park is.
This is how I imagine a wheels-up splash landing would look like. Something a little like that. Wheels up, splash landing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's legs up.
Oh, and now everyone can see my feet. I'm gonna end up on Wiki feet.
Oh no.
Oh, that would be such a shame.
Oh my God.
No.
Isn't it called Wikipedia?
Don't put my little toesies on Wikipedia. It'd be such a shame.
Now, what did you want to say about Jesus taking the wheel? Because Dotson later said, "There was no doubt in my mind. I planned to hit between the two bridges. I hit the exact spot I had picked."
Oh, good for him. Yes.
So there was no Jesus taking the wheel. Major Dotson had it. Jesus said, "I got this," and Dotson said, "Mind your business, Jesus."
Period. Good on him. You know, we love a girl in charge.
We love a competent man. There's so few of them out there.
Yes. We stand.
Now, all 6 crew members survived the crash.
And you know what? Where's his movie? That little Sully person? Who the fuck was he?
Exactly.
And what
This
y'all
was
know
the
about...
real miracle on the Hudson.
Exactly.
And by the Hudson, I mean the Monongahela. And by miracle, I mean... I don't know what I mean, but it wasn't no miracle. Because that Monongahela...
Right, eat your heart out, Sully.
Can I say something? I listened to a bunch of podcasts as research for this. The number of people...
How many podcasts covered this bullshit?
I only listened to 3.
That's too much. Like, who cares?
Like, that's 3 too many, and now we're 4. But the number of people who said Monongahela...
Monongahela.
And it's like, no, it's Monongahela. And then one lady said I definitely think it was AI because it kept saying Monongahela.
Monongahela.
But despite surviving, they were not out of danger yet. The front of the plane began to take on water rapidly, forcing the 6 to rush into the tail of the aircraft. There, they took off their boots and their heavy leather jackets and made their way out on the wings of the plane to await rescue. Now, we have to remember, this is January. In Pittsburgh. On the river. Paul, I think you and I both know what that's like.
Cold.
Very cold. Frigid. It, like, that wind just gets inside you and it sticks to your bones. And just when you get inside and that cold is like, "I'm sticking to your bones, bitch. You're mine now."
Yes. Do you think there was ice on the river at that point? Because I've only seen the river freeze over once in my lifetime. But that was before global warming when he did all this.
Yeah, there might have been like ice chunks. But the water was 34 degrees that day. So it was above freezing.
That's crazy. Okay.
Now, the water was rising rapidly around them as the plane continued to sink as it drifted in the current of the river. After floating with the plane for 11 minutes, the airmen found themselves in the icy water without any ability to stay with the plane. Dotson ordered the men to swim for a log floating nearby so that they could stay afloat. He, Tabak, and Jamison made to the log and were rescued by a tugboat which came to their aid.
AIDS! Sorry. PTSD.
Alaman, meanwhile, swam to the shoreline with great difficulty and was aided up onto land by bystanders. But 2 of the men, Captain Gene Ingram and Staff Sergeant Walter Susie, drowned by attempting to swim to shore, and their bodies were not found until months later.
Okay, well, I'm not saying what the mystery here is.
Just give it a minute. Jesus Christ.
Well, bitch, they all survived and they found all the bodies, so what's the mystery? Oh, they can't find the plane?
Do you ever hate it here? Do you all just... Now I know why our ratings are so fucking low. Because we just can't have nice things.
Stop.
And you know what? I just tried to do something nice for you for the spooky season. This things I get. I'm just trying to spice things up.
What can you do, girl?
Can I continue now?
Sure.
Thank you. The B-25 sank lower and lower into the icy river as it drifted a mile down the river before sinking beneath the surface near Beck's Run at a place locals call Bird's Landing, in a part of the river that is about 20 feet deep. In the ensuing hours, a Coast Guard cutter, the Forsythia, snagged a wing of the submerged plane while dragging its anchor, but the line slipped and the B-25 slid back into its watery grave. The Coast Guard and the Army Corps of Engineers continued a search and salvage operation for 14 more days, dragging the river continuously. Several times, the dragging hooks would catch something, and they would begin to reel what they believed the plane to be in, only for the line to slip or, in one instance, break altogether. Finally, the military called off the search and declared the B-52 Mitchell bomber to be lost.
Oh, no.
Now, how does a 15-foot-high plane go missing in 20 feet of water? Paul is... How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Take an inch off of that because all men lie. So, you could stand on top of this thing and your head would be underwater. Would be over water.
Okay.
Boats are going to hit this thing. So how's it gone?
Where did it go?
As the youth say, the math ain't mathin'.
Right. Where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego?
Yes, thank you. You saved me. You saved that joke.
Well, Paul, as you and I both well know, Pittburghers are notoriously nebby people. For those of you not in Pittsburgh, nebby means nosy. Immediately following the crash, whispers began circulating of the military coming in at night and raising the plane secretly and letting the official salvage efforts continue during the day. Pittburghers actually asked why the military was looking the river at all when many of them had seen this happen.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1970s, one man called into a local radio show and claimed to be one of the truck drivers who was hired by the CIA to take the wreckage to a missile site outside of Oakdale.
Okay, why does the military even care?
Exactly. What could be on this aging plane that is these are being decommissioned as this is happening? Like, there was no point in having it around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they want to conduct a covert salvage mission while having a dupe take place during the daylight? Well, 1956 was the height of Cold War tensions between the United States and its Western capitalist allies and the Soviet Union and its communist Eastern Bloc. The geopolitical... the panic in your eyes as I said geopolitical.
I know what geopolitical means, okay?
No, you just knew you were in for listening to a rant. Anyways, the struggle started in the aftermath of World War II when America wanted to create independent democracies in Europe and Soviet Russia wanted to expand its empire. However, it really escalated when the Soviet Union also figured out how to make a nuclear bomb when America was saying, we're not telling you how. And America realized, oh shit, no, we're not the only ones who have this. And it started an arms race. So it is very possible that the plane was carrying something of such a consequential nature that the government wanted to step in and recover it secretly to avoid any detection.
Okay. So they had like a bomb or something.
So, I'm glad you mentioned a bomb. Because the plane did take off from Nellis Air Force Base near Las Vegas, just miles away from some of the military's most crucial weapons development bases, namely the Nevada Test and Training Range. which is where the Nevada nuclear testing site is. From 1951 to 1991, there have been 228 publicly acknowledged nuclear weapons tests there.
Okay.
Perhaps the cargo mission was a decoy to move a new type of atomic weapon from the west to east coast. The military would want to quickly move in to secure the weapon before the Soviets learned about it, and also to get it before it had a chance to detonate and destroy the city of Pittsburgh, one of the most vital industrial cities of that era.
Okay, that makes sense.
But what if the cargo was of a less dangerous but more valuable?
They had Lindsay Lohan on that bitch.
More valuable. I'm talking about confiscated mafia money.
Okay.
This plane took off from Las Vegas. Las Vegas was built by the mob. You think those casinos just showed up there? You think the pioneers in their covered wagons were building casinos?
I mean, the pioneers did like to gamble, as we learned with Alfred Packer.
With dice. But the mob came in and said, I got an offer you can't refuse. Slots machines.
They gambled with money back then. Alfred Packer was gambling with money.
They were playing dice, Paul. They weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't. They weren't betting dice. They were gambling with dice.
Yeah, exactly.
So why, when I said slots machines, did you say they were gambling with money?
I think they would have eventually evolved from like card games to slot machines without the mob.
Let me phrase it this way. The mob came in and they turned it into an industry, whereas the pioneers would have just had like one sad casino.
I don't know.
The pioneers didn't have teeth. Nobody will want to go to their stupid pioneer casino.
Well, that's just mean, DJ. I didn't know you felt this way about the pioneers.
I'm sorry to insult your hill people heritage.
My hill people did not go west. We knew we had it good right where we were. We weren't like those other greedy Gusses trying to go west looking for gold and all sorts of things. And what did y'all get? The desert. The desert.
Dysentery.
Droughts. Wildfires.
Dysentery.
We knew we had it good right here, and my family stayed right here where we had it good, okay?
The triple D. Deserts, droughts, dysentery. And also, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I have to make a PSA.
Okay.
For those of you who just saw me spill beer down the front of this costume that I said I was going to return, I'm obviously not going to exchange it now that I've spilt beer all over it. So please do not think I'm a horrible person.
We're gonna exchange it.
Paul, we can't do that. I'm just going to have to eat the cost of it.
Legally, we have to say that. But illegally, that bitch is going back in the bag.
Anyways, back to the mob money.
Mm-hmm.
The mob money.
Mm-hmm.
So what if the military was moving it closer to D.C. so that it could be transported there to line the pockets of politicians? Or, just 1 year after this happened, the Senate convened the Senate Rackets Committee to investigate illegal racketeering operations, in a committee that included then Senator John F. Kennedy and his brother, future Attorney General and Senator Robert F. Kennedy. The good Robert Kennedy, and not the current host of a brainworm serving as President Yamtit's Health and Human Services Secretary. I had to write that down. Okay. I know, that one was a little far-fetched. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Nothing wrong with a little conspiracy theory.
But Paul, I want to ask you, what if it wasn't carrying any cargo at all? Because it actually wasn't fitted out as a cargo plane at all. It was fitted out as a passenger plane.
Okay.
So what if it was carrying a passenger? Especially since witnesses said, as it was going down, remember, it passed really close to this bridge. Witnesses said inside that plane they saw not 6 people, but 7.
Girl, I don't know about all that. Bitch, what, you counting the people inside when you see a plane coming down? I don't think that.
There was just some poor kid on there who was fascinated by trains and was really good at math. And he looked up at there and rather than panic like his mom was, he thought, wow, my mom's being really hysterical. And that is a B-52 Mitchell bomber. And the engines are made by this company. And there are 7 people in that plane. Because that's how kids who like trains and are good at math think.
Yeah, fine. Period. You got me there.
So, firstly, I want to notice. Do you know what is on that Nevada testing and training reserve? Do you know what part of that is?
Are you going to tell me it's Roswell?
No, because that's in New Mexico.
Oh, whoops.
Area 51!
Oh, that's okay, yeah. I was close. I was thinking aliens. I just
You
got
were.
the wrong alien spot.
Now, for those of you who are living under a rock, Area 51 is a highly classified military base, which is fairly near to Nellis Air Force Base where the plane took off, and is the center of UFO and extraterrestrial lore. The 1950s were a hotbed of UFO sightings. Just 9 years before the crash in Pittsburgh, a UFO allegedly crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, with the craft and its possibly alien pilot being taken to Area 51 for further testing and maybe interrogation.
Bitch, so I was right.
No, you said Roswell was in the middle of the place. Roswell, New Mexico is not. However, the stuff that happened at Roswell was taken there.
So I was on the right track. So
You were on the right track.
I'm giving myself 75% credit.
I'll give you a B.
Yes.
Now, could it be that the military was tasked with running a covert operation ostensibly to get cargo, but really to move an extraterrestrial diplomat to Washington to meet with the President of the United States? But the alien was not able to escape the plane, so they had to recover the body before anyone else found it.
You know what? I like that. I like that theory.
You like that theory?
Yeah.
Aliens! Now, on the flip side, let's reel it in a little bit. On the flip side, perhaps the passenger was of this world, but from the other side. During the Cold War, a number of Soviet citizens chose to defect and come to the United States. While many of the famous ones included artists, writers, intellectuals, and other celebrities, the most prized ones were those who weren't known publicly because they were spies, who knew what the Soviet Unions were doing and looking for, which would give the United States a leg up. With the Soviets monitoring not only official communications, necessitating the need for a covert flight, but also American media, which means if the plane was found and they found a 7th body, the Soviets would realize what we knew when and how and where and how and why. Did you follow all that?
No.
Good. Deception. It was absolutely necessary that the Soviet Union did not realize we knew more than we let on. Kind of like me anytime you try to teach me something.
Okay, bitch.
That I'm an idiot thing is all a trick.
Mm-hmm.
It gets me out of doing stuff. I shouldn't have told you that because now you're going to realize and make me do stuff.
I don't think it's a trick.
That is honestly the best comeback. Okay, and for our final theory, and this is the most strange one, and I'm just gonna spout it out, and it's that the crew was actually a moving group of Las Vegas showgirls meant to entertain a group of senators.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. I really don't want to think about a bunch of old, wrinkly white men pinching the bottoms of showgirls either, but I guess the military would want to get rid of their bodies before they were found.
They just appreciated art. They wanted to see a show, DJ.
Okay.
They just wanted to see a show. The showgirls, the life of a showgirl. It is what it is. And you know what? More power to the military for dragging every last one of those showgirls out of the Monongahela. And I hope they give them a dignified death.
Burial.
Right under a,
Bridge.
No, under an Eaton Park parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Now, that plane just stayed there. In the 1990s, the Heinz History Center launched a further investigation to locate the remains of the plane using divers and a sonar. God bless those divers for going down. Honestly.
Right. And God bless anyone who goes down on you, because Lord knows that's charity work also.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. I knew you were gearing up for a good one. I just didn't know how good. Do you want to know what they found?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, no.
They couldn't even find any indication of the plane ever having been down there. One official remarked that they knew where every Ford truck, shopping cart, and trash can that had ever been dumped in the river was, but they couldn't find the plane. Their explanation was the plane had drifted into a deep hole in the riverbed and then was covered by sediment from the current. Because here in Pittsburgh, we know about large vehicles falling into potholes.
We do? Oh, that
right
bus.
Here, please put a picture of the bus in the pothole.
The bus in the pothole, yes. I believe that was the same week the president visited as well.
No, that was the bridge that collapsed and a different bus had to be lifted out of the gorge.
Oh, yeah, that was a different collapse.
That was not a sinkhole. That was a bridge collapse over a gorge.
My bad.
But here in Pittsburgh, we know a thing or two about airlifting buses out of large holes.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Anyways, even if it wasn't buried, the idea, even if it wasn't buried, it's pretty intriguing to think about, this fully intact bombing plane just sitting on the riverbed, right?
Right, yeah, no.
That's not possible.
Right, it is kind of crazy, because it's just a river. I get the ocean, but a river, girl, there's only so much river.
Well, I'm just saying, I think when people think, it's missing, they think they have this picture of a fully intact plane.
Right.
But the plane was made out of aluminum, which corrodes very quickly. Now, the high acidity of the Mon due to the dumping of industrial waste from Pittsburgh steel mills, industrial plants, which caused two things. And this is the moment where I realized I never pulled up the slideshow I needed. So it causes two things. One, corrosion, meaning that the plane would be gone except for its engine blocks, as well as its landing gear. The other thing is, it turns mermaids from looking like this.
For our audio listeners, he showed me a picture of Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
To this. It's a picture of a mermaid from the Barnum and Bailey Circus, and it is a monkey sewn onto a fish.
And if you remember my mermaids episode, that's the exact same picture I used in that episode.
So, Paul, what do you think?
What do I think? So was that last theory basically that it's still down there, but it's in pieces, and it eroded and corroded, and
yeah,
it's
that's
gone?
their theory.
I could see that. I like fun things, and I like a little whimsy. So I like the alien theory a lot. So I'm gonna say alien theory, final answer. They crashed, they had an alien body, and they crashed. The people made it out, the alien body did not, because the alien body probably was not alive. And then the military went and came and got it out of the water.
Okay.
I like that theory. That's a fun theory.
Would you like to hear my theory? Because I came up with a new one.
Okay, yes.
The plane was carrying a top-secret weapon for one of the military installations around Pittsburgh. The city was surrounded by not only military bases, but also missile silos meant for the defense of the vital industries housed in the city, as well as Washington, D.C., which, if the Soviet Russia launched nukes at D.C., they would pass overhead because they would shoot them over the North Pole. And we're north of D.C. So the plan was to file a flight path to Harrisburg to get the parts, but to divert, quote unquote, to Pittsburgh where the cargo would be offloaded. To make this believable, they stopped the fueling at Selfridge National Guard Base, knowing they would need to land at Pittsburgh. But then something went wrong. Perhaps they miscalculated the amount of fuel they had. Perhaps there was actually something wrong with the plane where it wasn't the valves froze up. Remember we were talking about that with Amelia Earhart, where the different valves froze.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the plan was to divert and land at Greater Pittsburgh Airport, which is near to the Air Force Base. The dire need caused the need to crash land the plane in the river, where the plane and its precious cargo was promptly lost to the toxic sludge.
Ooh, okay. That makes sense.
Need I remind you of what the Mon Mermaid looks like?
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Pretty gross.
So yeah, that is the Pittsburgh Ghost Bomber.
Crazy.
You didn't enjoy that?
No, it was cool.
Okay, I thought you were gonna enjoy it a lot more.
I didn't mean no, I didn't enjoy it. Like, no, I did. It was interesting. I liked the alien theory. Yeah, it was cool. It was interesting. I'm saying trying to have a thought. But you know, sometimes when you're supposed to have a thought, but then like the thought just escapes you. That happens.
It's so nice that you're trying to have a thought for this when you have so few of them.
I know. I only have so many thoughts in a day, and I'm using it on this. So you're welcome.
I'm so honored. So honored, but don't worry. Don't hurt yourself. I know it's hard. You just rest now, honey.
I'll dream of Machine Gun Kelly.
I know you will. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. This has been another spooky season edition. We're getting ever closer to Halloween.
Yes, I'm so excited for Halloween.
Yes. I'm so excited to get out of this oversized jumpsuit.
Mood.
Because the crotch is around my knees. If I stand up, the crotch of the suit is gonna fall around my knees.
It happens to the best of us.
And it's very annoying because it's like a lot of room to sweat in.
Oh. You're sweaty?
No.
Oh.
I don't sweat. Excuse me as I burp off beer.
Do the rewind to our little Edie episode where we were both sweaty as shit.
Was I sweaty or was I glistening? That was my foundation. That was just my dewy setting mist. Anyways, thank you so much all for listening. If you would like to share your thoughts with us, please do. You can DM us on any of our socials listed below. You can also email us your personal stories at the email listed below. Wherever you're listening, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Paul, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. But also, I don't really post on my personal TikTok. If you want to see what I'm doing, go to the Crips and Quirks TikTok. I'm going to be posting a shit ton on there all month. And as usual, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so at The Real Teach Pirates on both Instagram and TikTok. And until next time, Corkies, keep your crips tight.
And your quirks loose.
Bye! Here comes the airplane.